first time at AGU. Thank you so much, Thomas and co-conveners, to organize this wonderful session and for me to share some ideas, really, a little bit of a story that was inspired from our conversation with Thomas last year. It's not a secret that urban soils are important for environmental health and urban ecosystems, but science of urban soils facing serious challenges. A lack of comprehensive data, limited public awareness of soil ecological roles, as well as difficulties in data collection within diverse, densely built environments. But integration of citizens or citizen science can actually help us in urban soil research to advance soil science through expanded data collection and analysis and enhance public engagement in scientific endeavors. That's why by leveraging community efforts, extensive data collection can be gathered through different urban landscapes at a larger scale. But first we need to educate our citizen scientists and provide them with resources. My overarching goal is urban soil contamination and remediation of heavy metals. But in this presentation, I want to show you the other side that is typically stays unpublished. It's a conversation and insights that citizens shared with me during our outreach program, workshops, and trainings. In my past life in New York City, I was involved in many events. You can see here, Maha witnessed quite a few of those. When we would take our portable X-ray fluorescent analyzer and go to parks or events where people would bring their samples and we would directly test for heavy metals right there on the spot, we would take our XRF and take them to community gardens, you can see on the top right corner. And then we also had a trainer program in low income areas, mostly African American communities, where we would educate them about soil testing. I found two types of people. I met two types of people in these events, as those who were eager to learn and tested their soils, and they were really interested in science and they wanted to remediate their properties, but they didn't know how to do it because science papers were very complicated to read and they were very confused about 20 pages after reading what to do about it. And we're looking for something that's easy and accessible to digest. And the second category of people was those who didn't want to test because they didn't know what to do and where to go from there. They would rather not to know, so it does not decrease their property values. So in addition to my technical research, the goal I also have is to engage and educate communities in soil data collection and monitoring, enhancing public understanding and involvement in urban soil health. When I moved down to Louisiana a few years ago, I brought this experience from New York City, and I wanted to involve communities in our research. And also as someone new to the town, I needed to establish connection and rapport. So I also created multiple events for people to come, but I encountered one big problem, is that parents had their children to accommodate first. So they would not come to the events at the capacity I wanted to. But that's where I figured out I need to create events for children. Then parents will come because parents follow their kids. And in these examples, you can see multiple fun exercises we had at the art festivals, workshops at the university or outside. We were invited or we organized ourselves. While my undergraduate students would play with children, paint with soil paint created by the company called Art of Soil. She's a soil science professor herself in the US. I would talk to parents to allow us, give access to their properties to sample soils or bring their soils to us. Now we have a paper that actually we submitted for special issue at SWITMA with 1,300 samples, over 1,000 samples of Lafayette urban environment. I will tell you about the results in the next conferences where we meet. But in this presentation, I will only talk about the education part and some insights. So this third insight I had about people in Louisiana that were mostly completely unaware importance of soil, they would not consider it, and they would only test sometimes for soil nutrients. So 3 categories of people, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to find a way how to share and engage them in our research. My colleagues from Columbia University a few years ago did a study in Peru, where they engaged parents in mining areas. They wanted them to sample their properties for lead contamination. And what actually where the children play and would be exposed to lead. So what they found is that they were hotspots that were undetected by researchers because researchers didn't have access to their private areas. So if not for those parents, those towns would be not properly mapped. And because parents were able to do it themselves and share the data with researchers, they found some hotspots. They also found interesting relationship that children blood lead levels were not related to soil lead, but to soil tracked on parents' shoes into the house, the cleanness of clothes, as well as education level. So this paper highlights the feasibility and value of community involved in environmental health risk education. This actually covers the citation on the right, but our colleagues from Poland did this interesting study with collaboration from different countries where they highlight the need in their paper on the global perspective of soil education. They highlight the need for soil education at different levels and also the lack of educational resources. They found out that students now get the data from YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And the use of attractive graphics and modern technologies, they really help for us to improve soil education performances. Here's an example of graphics that I use. It's soil sample on the left, how to get the samples from people or ourselves. I digest my 20-page article into simple strategies and techniques that we share with people, and I also publish my papers or results rather in non-science magazines to reach other professionals like in green industry, for example. Talking about YouTube and Instagram, I'm very active on social media because I want to take science to the next level and make it more accessible. And the way I do it is through sharing urban soil science on Instagram, spiced with fashion, that's my thing for those who know me. And on YouTube, I have a digital urban soil textbook that is available for anyone. I record with the permission of my guest lecturers and place it on a YouTube channel that is accessible worldwide, but I reuse it in my classes every semester. Some of you participated in that. I also think that there's a really great opportunity for mobile apps. This is something should be considered for perhaps maybe students who are interested in developing apps. There's really lack for urban soils, and there is I think it really would be cool someone developing a video game on soils and urban soils. It would be a really great potential. So involving more digital platforms. But traditional field activities and practices, practical exercises are still powerful educational tools, and we should do more integration of practical exercises in citizen science programs and outside of classrooms. But how do we do it if there is no resources? Well, we need to create those resources. Luckily for you, now there is a new manual, field and urban soil guide that came out on the market, and it's great. Why it's great? Because I wrote it. This is something new off the press. This QR code is Barnes & Noble's, but in your prospective countries, you'll be able to get this book. It's really came out this week, and it's a work of several years. I'm really proud to share it with you, my first audience, to break the news. So finally, we need more education of citizens. We need to create resources for them. It's our job, no one else's. And digital tools and social media can help us to get the data with people, from people, and also be able to share experiences with them and results. And on social media, they can connect with researchers, which is really cool. Thank you so much.